Слава Україні!
Hello comrades, and welcome to the very first ever Call to Arms mod show-off and Call to Arms video, just in general for this channel. Call to Arms, if you don't know, is a game that originally started as kind of just this modernized version of Assault Squad 2, but it's really grown and changed, and when it first released it was horrible. It was just, it's terrible. I mean, there's still a lot that needs fixing, a lot changing, but compared to its release, this thing, it's really come a long way. Problem with it is that because it's still in development and it's still changing, there's constant updates, and I think I made like a mission or whatever with this mod, the expanded factions mod. I was really proud of it, and it was really nice. And the moment I closed out of the game, I was gonna get OBS set up, and I was on Discord for a little bit. So I launched the game, and the game had updated like 2 times within like the same hour, and it broke the mod. And when the mod creator Benny, he fixed it, I think like another few hours later, it updated another like 3 times, and then the next day it updated like another 2 times. So I had to just stop for like a few days just to wait and see if the game was done with this, because there's all these constant little patches and fixes and stuff, which is good, but at the same time, the mod community isn't able to really grow or do much. If you make a mod for this, you have to constantly keep your eye on it and constantly update, which can be a bit of a hassle for some. And some people are just like, you know what, I'm not going to deal with that. So, big thanks towards Benny on your constant working and updating of this mod. Dude, it's an amazing mod. Also, guys, Rise of Nationality, that mod is dead, and a release is not going to be anytime soon, sadly. I'll see what I can do about maybe releasing it to the workshop. Again, I have to talk with Miles and Viper. I think they'd be fine with it, but again, that mod, it's dead for right now. So this mod, I would certainly recommend as a replacement in case you've been like waiting for Rise of Nationality. It adds plenty. But you know what? Let's get right into it. This here is the Chinese faction. This is Chinese police, which cool is he divided the Chinese faction into like different tabs for the different sections. So it's Chinese police. You got the kind of heavily armored, got the lesser armored, but well equipped. Really cool looking. Here we got the Chinese ground forces. The flag and the patches are upside down on these units. I'm sure it's a very simple mistake. The way the images appear when you're working with them on paint.net, it can be a little confusing to figure out which way the flag needs to go and the way the patch needs to go. Sometimes it looks like it's the right way, and then it's actually upside down, or it's sideways, or it's like super stretched. So, and it's a perfectly forgivable mistake. But what I do really like is what he did with the Oshanka here. You can see it in pretty good detail. You don't have to like increase the model size or anything. It's a skull. It's a red skull, Chinese flag, which is really cool. Most just kind of leave the red star. They remove the star, and that's it. But Benny, he did a whole design to it, so that's pretty badass looking. I can't remember what the different regiment names and stuff are in Call to Arms. The units, as some of you may or may not know, aren't actually listed with names. It's not like SMG or Elite Infantry or anything. It's just T1, T2, T3, T4. It can be a little confusing as to what those mean. I think it's different tiers, but I can't be certain. So the Spec Ops for the ground forces units. Here we have the militia. These are just really kind of hurriedly equipped, kind of just national defense. Not even a national guard, just like part-time. You train for like a weekend out of every other like month or 2 months kind of unit. Hats still need to be fixed, obviously. Again, with this game constantly being updated, it's hard to remember what you need to fix for the mods and what you need to add or what you need to do. Just because it's primarily about getting the units updated, or just the mod itself updated. Here we have the Chinese National Guard. Very cool looking. I think the hats look a bit goofy, so if I do, or the helmets, so if I do make a video with these guys, I'm probably gonna swap out the helmet. I'm sure it's accurate, but it's such a goofy look, and it makes me think of if any of you've seen Spaceballs, uh, those big round helmets they have. That's what I keep thinking of each time I look at these guys. So damn goofy. But the uniform itself looks pretty awesome. I like the beret too. Here we have the PLA Marines, or the Naval Infantry. Very awesome looking. Spec Ops, I think, for the PLA Marines, or maybe Scouts. Again, I can't remember the exact names. It's just labeled as T3 and all that. Here we have just the Spec Ops tab, separate from all others. Very cool looking. The helmets for these guys don't exactly fit just yet. Just got to readjust them a little bit. Very awesome looking though. Here we go. We have the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. Also, there's so many units on the ground that it's getting a little choppy. But anyway, here we go. We have the Border Guards for DPRK. I wonder if Benny will do the proper, like a really kind of square-looking hat, kind of similar to the French Foreign Legion. I wonder if Benny will make that for the Koreans. Would be pretty cool. Very nice though. That big rocket thing on the end of the SKS. Didn't change the thing for the Ashanka, but still very nice looking. Here we have the DPRK Light Infantry tab. It's a very massive magazine. Probably got to resize that. This is the Light Infantry, which is very cool because most mods, UFO I think does like a few elite units for the DPRK, but it doesn't do anything else. It's just these very plain, boring looking units. So this one has some proper camouflaged DPRK army. So these guys are the normal. I think these guys are the light infantry assault. They're labeled as T3A, I think. So I'm assuming A means assault. Certainly look like a step up from the standard. Very nice looking. The kind of Spec Ops elite unit kind of thing, scouts possibly. Here we have the Peasant Red Guard. These guys obviously, just like the militia, they're civilian defense. Not well equipped, not really meant to be on the attack or really any real fighting. Still very nice. Hats need a bit readjustment. Here we have the DPRK Elite. Very awesome looking. Again, you don't see much for DPRK in any mods, so it's nice to see these guys. Very cool. Alrighty, let's move on. Here we have Kurdistan. They're in the Iraqi tab. I think they're like the RK, like RIK or something. Can't remember exactly, but very cool. Different units. Like elite or like a step up from the standard, like Spec Ops or something. Scouts, squad lead. Forgot to remove the flag there for the U.S. Here we have the Iraqi faction, the Iraq Army. Got a pilot there. I think these guys are the Golden Eagles. It's an elite unit of the Iraqi military. They have all black. Although I don't know if that is who these guys are. I could be wrong. Still very nice though. No idea who these guys are, but if you can recognize that yellow patch there, you could tell me. Very ragtag militia-like. The proper Iraqi, I think, special forces or scouts. These guys are the elite, I think, as well. Very cool. Standard army here. And here we have the, you guys have seen these guys before, the Iraqi Federal Police Forces. And they're in the Rise of Nationality. Pretty cool looking unit. I always like the blue. And blue's usually used by naval units, but the police as well sometimes use that. I know Ukraine uses the Berkut, use that bright bluish color. Anyway, we're on to the faction of Armenia, I think. Yeah. Armenia. Very nice. The textures and the detail and whatnot that have been put into this mod are just wonderful. That's the standard army. Some kind of elite blue beret unit. Very nice. And, scouts for elite spec ops of some kind. Again, if you guys can recognize them at all, let me know. Got the tank man. Your tank crew. Here we have Azerbaijan. Another very cool looking unit. Always like the variety in weapons and stuff. Engineer has a beret, I think. That's the engineer at least. I got the officer here, or squad lead. Getting some elites, I think, or at least the higher tiered infantry. I like how the beret matches. It's not just black or gray or whatever. Very nice. Here we got the spec ops unit here. Very awesome. Another one. Moving on to the nation of Israel. And these kind of security police force of some kind. I don't think this is standard army. I think the standard army is something else. These are like border guard or something. Yeah, these kind of helmets is what the normal army is. I think that's what these guys are. That's a little Israeli flag there. Like NCOs or scouts. The elites. Symbol there, it's like a sword stabbed through some wings or something. Here we have just a bunch of civilians. Got Captain Price as a prisoner, I think is from Modern Warfare 3? Honestly, I can't remember which Modern Warfare. Very cool though. Here we have, this is the single player tab. I don't know who these guys exactly are. I think they're Iraqi border guard or something like that. And these guys are the border guard police. Very cool. I like the blue. Again. Let's see, it's Israel there. Here, move down the line. I have the faction of Finland. Finland has, I think, like the sergeant major, colonel, or lieutenant. I don't know exactly, but they have the little patches and stuff. That's very cool. Some proper officers. Different units. Really nice looking uniforms and all. Just very well done. Let's see, we got Estonia now. It's like one of the smallest ones. There's factions, there isn't a whole lot added in. Still very nice. I guess they don't have a whole lot in terms of uniform variation for the Baltics, because you know you're mostly in the north. So aside from like maybe white camo, you wouldn't have a whole lot of need for others. Here we have the spec ops for Turkey. I think the higher tiered or scout units. Again, I can't remember exactly, but you know, we have I think like a naval unit or the naval infantry. Maybe it's a police force of some kind. Very cool though. Standard military. Not sure if they actually have blue berets, but still very nice. I like these police or border guard kind of guys. Security of some form. See the patch there if you can recognize that at all. Here we have Lebanon. Very cool looking army. Different unit types. Spec ops or scouts of some kind. So I forgot to remove the American flag. Oops. Here we go. Spec ops. Tank man. Here we have Lithuania. Also, funny thing to note, the Latvians, like a screenshot of the Latvian faction for Interwar has like 18 likes now, which is kind of funny because I have like out of all my different screenshots from over the years, that's like the most popular. And again, the interwar stuff is not mine. I don't make any of that. That's all Colonel Rooster. It's not from Rob's Realism, if in case you know, Indonesian guys going around saying that. He's been spreading lies and bullshit, but you know, I can't do much aside from just keeping people informed. Lithuania looks really good. Some stuff missing, but that's fine. Here we have Latvia itself. There are two different types of uniform. There's this type, and then there's this type. The units are exactly the same, so I didn't want to double place them. But this is just like the sergeant major, colonel, or whatever. They have that too. Very nice looking. Very nice. Certainly good for winter uniform, I'm sure. No idea who these guys are, though. I'd assume maybe these guys are the ones that'd be in the desert or something. Very awesome, though. Now we got actually much larger ones. So there's a whole Syria tab, and for Syria there's like different sub-factions. So there's, I think, the Free Syrian Army, there's the Syrian Army, there's, I think, ISIS, PGM, and I mean, you'll see them all, don't worry. We got the Free Syrian Army to start with. Again, I don't know a whole lot about the units or the different regiments or faction that fight for who, but very cool. A lot of our stuff is a mix of US uniforms, just like with ISIS. Also, this little black headband thing is some jihad kind of symbol, like a black flag with white lettering. It's been like a symbol for jihad since like the Chechen war, like the wars in Chechnya. It's not specifically meaning ISIS. I can't remember exactly. I think someone like tried to explain it as like some, like jihad is like a kind of like a universal call for I don't know if it's like specifically Muslims or whoever to like, you know, fight against occupiers or uniting different tribes. You know, you call for a jihad or whatever. It's not specifically a terrorist term or label. These black guys are very cool looking though. A little bit more uniformed. Interesting patch there. Yeah, the jihad thing, I'm not exactly sure how accurate that is. That's just from what I can remember someone telling me. Here we have the Islamic State. Their uniforms are very much US and kind of old Soviet uniform for like the lower militia class. As you can see, the ISIS one here has the actual symbol in the center, a little white circle. Yeah, the US uniforms here. And apparently, I think it was 2014, the US meant to drop a large supply drop for the Kurds, and it ended up getting stuck in ISIS territory. So they ended up thanking the Americans for all this ammunition and uniforms and stuff. Which just goes to show, you know, you can have the most advanced technology and you can still make mistakes. This faction looks awesome though. Oh gosh, camera angle's a bit weird. Here we have, I honestly I can't remember. Peshmerga? Yeah, I think it's like the YPA or Peshmerga. If you can recognize that symbol, or Benny can just say. I think it's listed as PGM or PNG or something. Cool, I wonder if these got the red armbands are. Here we have the Syrian army. I think this is the standard army. Different unit types. Pretty cool. You have the, I think it's the Tiger Force, or either Tiger Force or Republican Guard. I'll say Tiger Force. Yeah, I want to say Tiger Force. I could be wrong though. Militias, got a female unit of some kind. I'm not sure what the females are doing in fighting ISIS, but apparently, but I do know that there's a lot of women that have contributed to the fight, which is pretty cool. Like a National Guard unit or militia of some kind for Syria. Very cool looking, very Soviet-like. But I suppose just, you know, anything helps. These are the Republican Guard, maybe? I don't know. Here we have... Crap, who are these guys? Let's see. I actually can't remember. But if you recognize them, let me know. Very cool though. Very interesting, the blue pants. Let's see if maybe there's that. Nope. Can't tell. So I think that's it for the infantry. Now we'll move on to the vehicles. Alright, we're on to vehicles. So we're getting right into it with the Chinese vehicles. They're divided up into their own tabs, which is pretty cool. So we got the army here. They're all in their own specific camo too. It's really nice done. Kind of AA turret vehicle of some kind. Very cool. Artillery piece. No idea what this would be. Still, it just looks amazing. For that, got the naval equipment. I guess used by Marines and whatnot. Very nice blue coloring and all that. Here's the emblem. Let's see, we got the militia here. I remember, I think it was on there's like a voice call with Nam, Rumik, and all the other guys, that Miles and all that. I think they were arguing over whether or not something like this was actually used in the Vietnam War. They're like showing old pictures of it and whatnot. It's a very believable vehicle, you know. Slap it onto a T-34's body. Large kind of AA turret thing. It would work. Very nice vehicles. It's awesome is that there's only 3 vehicles that have caused crashes, and once they're fixed, just about all vehicles will work. Here we have Estonia. Very nice. Here we have ISIS. Obviously I have a fair mix of US, Soviet, and kind of just mixed equipment. All the different Humvees. I don't know if they ever captured any MATVs. Which if you guys don't know, this is what's replaced the Humvee. It's the standard of the what was it? It's like it's like the standard vehicle now used. It's no longer the Humvee. I think the Humvee is only used by like National Guard and maybe specific units of the army. But again, I'm not certain. But from what I understand. But I don't know if they were actually any captured or not. Let's see, we got T-72 I think. T-55, some BRDM, BMP, artillery piece, really awesome looking. Got some Free Syrian Army, they have mostly the same kind of stuff. Just figured I'd show the textures in different vehicles. Here we have Finland. I go with an all black, or all dark black grayish kind of texture scheme. Very nice though. The different leopards, or leopard. Is it leopard tank? I say leopard tanks, but I think someone said it's like pronounced leopard. I don't know. Here we got some DPRK equipment. Actually, wait, no, these are also Chinese. These are National Guard. I think National Guard, yes. I forgot about that, sorry. Here we have Lebanon. Really cool camo for it. A little flag there. Got it for the Humvee too. And Bradley. Very awesome. Here we have Lithuania. Very basic set. They have Humvees as well, but I didn't show them all, obviously. Here we have Kuwait, which Kuwait doesn't have infantry yet, but it does have vehicles. They're the only faction with the BMP-3. Very nice. Abrams and M84, which is Yugoslavian, or if you know exactly where from Yugoslavia, if it's Serb produced, Croat, or whatever, or if you just refer to it as Yugoslavian. Here you have the Latvians going with an all-black camo texture, which is kind of cool. Here we have the DPRK. All their different equipment. A T-34 here needs needs texture for the wheels. I could easily do that, I'm sure. Cool stuff. I don't know what this is. Weird looking mobile artillery piece. I don't know why they have Mao Zedong's head on there, but pretty cool that you get some proper tanks and a nice texture for it too. It's not just gray. This wacky looking tank. Looks like something from a sci-fi movie. T-44 there. The Changman Ho, I think, is what this tank right here is. Very nice. Here we have the Iraqis. Their equipment, they got the T-72 and a T-90. I don't know how many T-90s they still have in service, or if they even still use the T-90, but still. Very nice. They got the BRDM with the Conkers, I think is what that's called. The anti-vehicle rocket pods. We got mortar pieces. I don't know who these guys are. I can't remember. But still very cool. They're using mostly old World War II American stuff, like the Chaffee, the M46, like the Sherman or something like that. A Ridgeback, that's British. Got a technical. Oh, I gotta start one more. This is like a Syrian army, I think. The only ones with the BTR-70. And a MTB with a Vaslik mortar piece on the back. PT-76. T-70, T-80. Shilka. We got Turkey now. Leopard or Leopard, Leopard, I don't know. Pretty cool stuff here. We got the Cobra. And the Cobra's only seen like once with like a machine gun, but he added the AJS and the light machine gun to it. Or made variants for it. Here we have the YPG vehicles. Very cool textures. Flags backwards there, I think. I think it's the other way. No, wait, no, that's the right way. Never mind. Cool texture for the technicals. And we have Yugoslavia. We got the M84s. APCs. The BOV. Problem with this BOV right here, the rocket pods, it only fires 2 missiles. One after the other. And that's it, and then it reloads, which isn't accurate. It should probably fire more than just 2. We have the Americans, I can't remember what that is, but it's very popular use by the Marines. And I remember watching Benny when he made this skin. He was showing us how to do it, and so he made this. Very cool, almost what was it, like the SS camo style. I think it's the it's the 91 Vihor something tank. Very cool. That's it for the vehicles. I hope you guys liked this. I hope this encourages you to get CTA or play it. CTA is Call to Arms, obviously. It's the reason I'm going to be playing it, and I'll probably post videos and stuff. So, yeah, really awesome. If you're ever on the fence about CTA, you know, this mod would be worth it. Yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed. Wasteland, I'm working on you guys. I have some of the regions and stuff set up. I just have to finish with the new Israeli army. Also, for Wasteland, guys, tell me how you want your faction intro videos to go. If you want me to just introduce your faction and explain the lore behind it, or if you want them fighting and doing something. Some of you requested music, so I can easily do that. But if you just wanted something more specific to your intro, let me know.